great, but it is going to be a very uncomfortably close match here on Dawnbreaker. This is going to be map number 3, side 1 between these two teams. So let's see now as we are going to have Horik actually hang out back here right by this catwalk. I love this position here by him. That is exactly the area that you want to hold down. They end up losing a player, but expect Horik to go back there right away as Gara's able to pick up 2 kills on that one, making it 177 to 185, and they are going to be losing C, though. So look at Gara actually just trucking away, pushing through as far as he possibly can. He is going to find a player in the back there. There's going to be another one as well as Gara is going to find one player, manages to take out Revo. Now it is all going to be up to XTS here to save MYM in this game. Let's see if that's going to be the case here. Insane stuff. 8-ticket lead. Now it's going to be shrinking just a little bit as Epsilon will be on the bleed, and they'll continue to be on the bleed because there is going to be a flip here with A and B for both teams. Hey, Ben.
How you doing, bud?
Welcome back.
Thanks, bro.
All right, so right now Ben's in the way. It's currently standing. We have a 5-ticket game between these two amazing teams, but I guess for everyone at home, you know, while the action's going on, why don't you break down what's going on with the bracket so people can understand?
Cool. So basically the situation we have right now, Eyeballers have won 2 games, they've won 5 maps and dropped 2, which was obviously in that last game. Now that guarantees them qualification. 110%, they are through. Applause, clap. Woo! Crowd go wild. Yeah. Now where it gets interesting, MYM and Epsilon. Well, let me start with MYM. They've won 2, won 4 maps, dropped 3. As it stands, Epsilon have won 1, won 3 maps and dropped 3. XTS are out. And that's 110%. There's no way they can qualify. So, if Epsilon manage to win this map, that will essentially knock MYM out. Simply because, heads up, Epsilon versus MYM, Epsilon won. So, if you're an MYM fan, get rooting for XTS.
Yep, that's right. So, okay, so I got it right because I explained it at the start.
You got it right?
And I believe I got it right, so I'm happy about that. Yay, good. I'm not awful at bracketology, but
I got you, boo.
As you're looking at the game here, XTS, they're fighting hard here, and they are trying to knock Epsilon out, it seems, or just win the game so that they can get a W under their belt in this group. It always sucks to go down 0-3 in group play, and Revo moving in here for XTS. He is going to have Pessy there with him. And this is going to be an opportunity here for XTS to be able to reclaim B as they will have this team on the bleed again as it was all tied up. Now Epsilon will be on the bleed, and I don't know what got into this XTS team here, but this is a completely different team from what we saw in that MYM as well as their matchup against the against Eyeballers. It's a completely different team.
They're feeling good. You know, that's what happens. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of momentum, and the next thing you know, they can come out and do
I give them
things.
credit, though, because they don't even have to win. They can
yeah, they're playing for pride
exactly.
as opposed to anything else right now.
And that's when, you know, I mean, we see this a lot in American football, you know, where situations like this happen where a team has to win in order for another one to go on, and that team may not necessarily need to win, but they're just going to play because they're going to play hard, and that is the true merit of a champion. I respect that very much so. So now taking a look here, Revo continuing to hold down B as it seems like there is going to be a oh, never mind. It looked like there was going to be a trip cap, but that's not going to happen. Revo's going to continue to hold down here, and it seems like they did manage to win the catwalk. That's going to give them easy access and spawns to B and C.
Well, right now you can see XTS with B and C under the belt, as you said, a 147 to 123 lead. That's nothing. You know, considering the game that we saw last game. This lead can be broken.
But remember too, Epsilon, and we're coming into this game late, so just so you guys are aware, 1-1 right now on the count. Epsilon, they went down in that last game by about, what was that, 165?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
that's kind
serious?
of the big ticket count to go down.
Epsilon, the team that we thought was going to 3-0 the pool, went down 160 tickets against XTS, a team that, you know, I hate to say it, I mean, you know, they just began shellacked. Yeah, right? And now it's just like out of nowhere, hey, we're stepping up. We're going to play some Battlefield. I respect that, man.
Yeah, they weren't really playing the best, that's for sure. But they have stepped it up now, and that's the big thing. They are stepping up when they need to, and they are coming back into this game. And what they're playing for right now isn't actually victory, you know. They're playing to knock out their opponent and just make them really mad.
That's true, and if Epsilon is really mad, well, this is definitely going to be the time because they ended up losing a player, and that sucks there as well. I looked, it's not a PC crash, it's a game crash, so he's going to be right back at it in about another 10 seconds here as Bambi on your screen, working his way over toward B. He is going to have teammates there for support. No one really in the vicinity there to make a stop happen. There are going to be 2 members there, but it seems like Bambi's going to go largely uncontested until they notice that B is getting taken, and it seems like on the other side they are going to be taking C.
So big plays coming in from both these two teams. You can see just how close it is, 118 to 113. Epsilon trying their best to hold on. As you so rightly pointed out, someone did actually get booted from the game. I believe Park is now back, so Epsilon playing with their 5th man. And this is the first side, correct?
This is the first side.
So they are playing for that ticket advantage in the second side. This should be very, very close.
All right, so it seems like we got an update, though.
Yeah, so this is just a 100% make everything clear. If XTS win this game, MYM goes through.
That's
as
right.
does Eyeballers. Simple as that. If Epsilon win, Epsilon go through, as do Eyeballers. So basically, Epsilon are playing for their life.
So if you felt bad for Eyeballers in that last game, don't. They're good. They're feeling great. They advance no matter what. Congratulations to them. But now it's Epsilon's turn here. Can Epsilon come back and do something? Let's see, as we're going to be on board with Guerra. Guerra is going to find one player, and I think Ben needs one of the production guys out here, apparently.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just
waving his hands like a crazy person.
Hey, all right. Hey.
It's okay. I mean, we're trying to figure out what the brackets are. I mean, I completely understand that.
It's all good. It's all good. We
all
have
good.
that explained.
All right.
It's fine.
So
Don't
it's
even worry
all
about it.
It's all explained. I don't need to worry my pretty little head over it anymore. Yay. All right, so Epsilon, they are going to manage to secure B here as A and C are going to be contested, and let's see who has it. So C is going to go to Epsilon. On the B side, you are going to have XTS, who are going to manage to get control of this one. There are going to be actually 3 members here spawning over by C. They will get control of this immediately, but again, that catwalk there all the way on the back, that's going to be such a defining factor here. Look for Duke to make some noise and pick up a couple players.
He's going to need to go big right now into this game. It just seems as if this is one of those, it was as close as the one we were actually casting over initially. And as you so rightfully point out, if you are just tuning in, you know, we've joined halfway through. XDS losing a player as well now.
Now that is not what you want to happen if you're an MYM fan. That is for certain.
XDS need to win this game for MYM to go through. Epsilon, simple. They win, they go through. They lose, they go out.
Yep. That is definitely going to be the case here. So now Epsilon's Duke, he's going to be putting on some shots, taking out XTS Bambi, and they are going to be able to get B. But despite it all, XTS are going to be fighting back, and it seems like while they are going to get C, Epsilon, XTS are going to respond and pick up B on their own. On the other side here, Epsilon, they're going to answer back and get B. So again, we're seeing that usual flip that's been happening over and over again between these two teams, and my goodness, it seems like Brosif, he's going to try and be a bro, move in, get a couple kills perhaps. There's going to be one player here as well. You can see them highlighted on the screen. Brosif backing up. He's going to have 5 health remaining. Oh, and he finally gets taken out by the Radius. And we ended up losing an Epsilon guy too, so it's all going to be tied up here. That's hilarious.
This is crazy. I mean, both these two teams losing players, so it's actually a 4v4. Right now, so who needs 5 players, right?
Yeah, who needs 5 players? This is what we're used to casting, honestly, in where we come from. And XTS is finally going to get their guy back, and it seems like Epsilon is going to be able to get their guy back in just a second, too. So that actually turned out to be a game crash, not a PC crash. Luckily enough, again, PC crashes, that will go on for much longer, and it seemed like that might have happened to XTS there, actually, Hadoukens, if I'm correct, as he's going to be back into the fold here yet again. And we do have A and B for Epsilon. Let's see if XTS is going to be able to answer back.
You know, XTS, they need to make some moves now, and that's exactly why they're trying to cap that Bravo flag. You can see it currently being contested. Big question is, are they going to be able to grab it? That's
They do.
the key. They do. They get it. So that's going to start bleeding away on Epsilon's score. However, Epsilon, even with just 4 people, they're jumping on that C flag. They are not going out without a fight.
Yeah, I mean, that is so true, Benson. They, again, you know, despite them going down to 4, that is kind of when you start to change your tactics around and, you know, begin to get a little bit more aggressive, push in perhaps, you know, force a little bit more, force the 2v1s, you know, a tad bit more instead of just resting on your laurels and trying to play defensively, hoping that the other team's going to run into your shots. Just not the way it's going to work here. Pessy's going to be there for the pickup. They do manage to get A right back, and they're going to find the one in front. This isn't going to be good here, as Duke was going to be the LMS there, but Bambi looking around by A, not finding anyone just yet. One red Dorito around the side here, around the corner. Let's see what Brosif is going to do, and he's going to find one. It's going to be Horik, and he ends up losing that gun battle.
This is big time for XTS. They are trying to get themselves back into this game. B is being taken out. Epsilon, they refuse to go out of this tournament. They want to have their ticket booked in that championship day tomorrow. But XTS, once again, they reply, they jump on that B flag. 36-69 is the score differential right now, and it's so close. Epsilon, they need that 5th man. They are playing so well with just 4, desperately trying to cling on. However, XTS, they're going to grab that B flag once again, and that's going to start to reduce that lead. It's around about, what, 32 points right now?
Yep, that's right. And I like what Brosif did there, by the way. I just want to point it out. He went for that revive instead of letting his teammate go for the spawn, because, again, it's going to waste a ticket.
Yep.
And you don't want to waste those tickets.
Epsilon, they have that 2-cap again with just 4 people. You have to think, if Epsilon have that 5th player in any second now, they will be able to win this map. This is the first map of the the first side, sorry, of the 3rd map. It's been very close from everything we hear. We're obviously casting the other game, so we don't really know much about who's been playing hot in this game. But right now, XTS, they are struggling even with the 1-man advantage. Yeah,
they do manage to secure B, though, Benson. So that is going to be something good going for them here as Bambi is going to get dropped. We are going to have 10 and 20 here for Pesty.
Wow.
He is struggling quite a bit, but he's able to find a double going for that one. Can he get the triple on the corner? No! David 2K is going to be there for the stop, but Pesty, as we were saying, criticizing him a little bit on that one. He stepped it up, was able to get a really key double, but that did not give his team that opportunity to move in there and cap B just yet.
Epsilon still with B and C control with just 4 players in the game. XTS, they are being taken to right now. It's crazy. Now they finally get A and B control, but they need to reduce this lead. Even if they lose the first half, that's not a big deal. Just do not allow Epsilon to go in with a lead onto that second side, or at least a big lead. A 40-point lead is huge, and they just cannot control that B flag to save their life right now. Epsilon just flooding it time and time again, really putting XTS on the back foot, and once again, Epsilon are going to pick up that flag, and if Epsilon go in with a 40-point lead with 4 people, you have to question XTS's ability.
Yeah, I give Epsilon all the credit in the world here, man, because they have just been on fire. And look at this, you have 2 players dropping 20 bombs. You have Duke and David. We're about that 10 ticket threshold here. You hear the music, it's coming up. It's like the Oscars telling you, wrap it up, this is it. But Epsilon, they're going to be able to cap B now. That is definitely going to secure it. And I don't know how Epsilon was able to do it there, but yet they have a 42-ticket lead in Dawnbreaker, Benson. That is massive. They just trip-capped them. That is pretty much going to wrap it up here for this first half. Epsilon, 1 step closer to getting to Saturday.
I cannot believe XTS have just done that. That's...
Even with a man down, Epsilon was able to hold it off.
If I'm an MYM fan, I'm mad.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can be mad, but even then, though, you have to think MYM managed to win their game because of a flub that had happened with the
I'll be mad if I'm an MYM fan because XTS had the 1-man advantage and still couldn't push it and win. XTS, they need to beat Epsilon if MYM are going to go through, and Epsilon playing like that, like you said, you rightfully pointed out, 2 players dropping 25+ kills.
Yeah,
that's a huge kill amount to be dropping at this level.
Well, we'll see if the Epsilon player is going to be able to join into the game. That was actually, let's see.
Everyone got it. Everyone got in right at the very end. So
yeah, seems like that's going to be Core. So Core, and that's it's funny. His name's Core. It makes sense. He's a core part of that team. He is a great player that has had many great plays throughout the entire weekend or week, excuse me. And it seems like all the players are ready to go here. And I just hope that we're going to have a nice clean game. That's what I want. I don't see what's so wrong with that here. We've been at this for way too long.
It seems like Epsilon are always, it's always them. I kind of want to throw that picture, why always me? They always seem to have a player that drops out. I don't know what it's to do with, but they just always seem to be unlucky. XTS, they have a big task ahead of them as we get the second half underway. XTS 42 tickets down. That's the advantage Epsilon are starting with. And if you're an MYM fan, you need to get behind this XTS team because if Epsilon win, MYM will not qualify. Get your votes on right now. You can see the instructions on your screen. ! Epsilon if you want to vote for them. Oh wow, 54 to 46 in favor of Exertus.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are ruthless.
Well, they want to see the underdog team win. There's nothing ever wrong with that, This is a team that's just purely fighting, just to fight and not to go 0-3 in the pool. So I got to give them credit, man, and I don't blame the fans who are voting for them.
No, completely agree. And just to clarify things a little bit more, if XTS drop below 42 tickets, that is going to be game, and that will be Epsilon advancing through, not meet your makers. So a lot riding on this game right now.
That's right. This is going to be such an intense half. Let's go ahead and stick with Epsilon here and see what they're going to be able to do because this is their tournament life on the line right here. Good connection on Brosif there by David 2K. He's going to be holding down B by himself. He is going to have nades flying in, though. And that was a well-connected nade by Exertus, as they are going to have some players moving in here. But David 2K is going to get picked off. Now this could be the opportunity that Exertus needed here to start fighting back into this game. Remember, they're fighting with that plus 42 deficit. Second they go below that, that's it. GG.
Yeah, and look at the lead that Epsilon were already able to generate, 193 to 168. That's a big chunk of time, and Epsilon then being ruthless now as they dive on that alpha flag, desperately trying to increase that.
They want to end this
lead.
right here.
Yeah, they want to get this over and done with as quickly as they possibly can.
You can't allow Exertus to get hot, you know. And it
oh my god,
like,
Epsilon players dropped out.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Hey, they won 4v5 last time, no big deal.
Yeah, right. Well, Horik is going to be the one to drop out there, and he actually, I heard him, but it was just a game, so he is going to be able to join in quickly. I'm looking on the other side here. I see exactly what's going on, and now there's going to be the opportunity Exertus needs to be able to capitalize on the man-down situation, but they can't seem to do so, and finally able to get B. Holding this one down, starting to bleed here on Epsilon as Core is going to advance on forward. He did not get an opportunity to exact his revenge in that last game. Even though his team won, still, he wants to be able to come up big.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Epsilon, even with just 4 people, once again, capping that Bravo flag. And you got to ask some questions, you know, if you're an XTS fan, how on earth are you allowing a 4-man team to cap that B flag? That just, you can't do that. I mean, at this level, teams will just run all over you if you allow that to happen. As you see XDS now jumping on that B flag once again, they should be able to grab that. They need to reduce this lead, and they need to take advantage. As horrible as it sounds, I mean, they need to take advantage of it right now.
Granted, we see it on our end that they ended up dropping a player. I mean, if someone's really paying attention and bringing up the scoreboard, there's no way for them to tell, you know, if that other player is gone, besides them paying attention to it, and Duke is going to get taken out. So, I mean, yeah, of course you can look, and you can probably tell, like, yeah, it seems to be a little less, you know, like, eventually you're going to catch on. But still, though, you know, there's no way for them to know, all right, let's go ahead and advance toward B, because they're probably still sticking with their game plan here, you know? They're not seeing what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very, very valid point you make. As eventually XCS do manage to control both B and C, trying to put this Epsilon team on the back foot. 165, their tickets are slowly dropping. Let's not forget, if XCS drop below 42 tickets, that is going to be game. Epsilon will advance, but that's going to be 4 down for Epsilon as Duke T comes off the spawn. And you know what? If I'm XCS, I want to push for that trip cap now.
Really?
Yeah. Take advantage. They must know by now. They must be able to tell. As a player, you got 4 down.
Honestly,
as a player, you
look at their
down.
setup. Look at their setup. Why break that? Why break that setup? I don't necessarily agree with
because
that.
the only reason I would say that is you need to take advantage, because now Horik's back in the game. And because Horik's back in the game, you can almost guarantee Epsilon are going to put so much pressure on that B flag. It's going to be so hard for XDS to try and hold it. I mean, when it comes to the kill column, it's only 19 to 23 in favor of XDS, not out-fragging them by that much. And there you go. You see Epsilon, they're back in the game, they jump on the B flag, and XDS just not able to capitalize on that at all.
Yeah, but then if they would have went for the trip cap, though, that could have been more of a disaster, because they could have ended up losing.
But
you know?
at this level, you need to make those risks. That's a high risk, high reward kind of situation.
Yeah, well, it seems like A is being capped here. Let's see if Brosif is going to be able to stop the cap on C. He sees his teammate Hadouken's getting taken out there. There's going to be one guy. It's going to be Garib pushing him with that grenade. Is going to be able to connect with that one. Nope. He's going to give up C, allow them to have that, but instead hang out you know, at the top of the lobby here and just, you know what, continue to cause problems. But Brosif gets turned on there.
That was nasty.
That was nasty.
He did the dirty.
Did the dirty.
That wasn't good at all. You see the alpha flag. That's under contention. So is Bravo. Epsilon, they want to just win this game as quickly as they possibly can. Not wasting any time. B neutral. So is A. Both flags flashing away at the top of your screen. Obviously, Epsilon do have control over Charlie. It's looking like Epsilon may actually be able to lock down B. They do. And now it's going to be XDS on the back foot again.
Yeah, this is not the position XDS wants to be in. Let's see what Revo is going to be able to do here. And just, of course, hoping to see that they can manage to get control of the catwalk here, maybe force their way over on B. But, you know, and another thing to point out again is, you know, Horik, he ends up...
Oh, my God, again?
Again. I truly don't understand what the deal is.
That has to be a PC.
I can see
always him.
I could see his frustration there on the other side. No one else seems to be having this problem. So let's see again if XTS is going to be able to respond on this one.
Well, they have A and B. Epsilon slowly draining away those points. We saw Epsilon manage to hold the lead in that last half, 4 versus 5. They managed to win it just by the skin of their teeth. Now Epsilon trying a different approach. They're going to try and jump on A. They managed to have it neutralized. Broseph for XCS. He's going to need to go big as he makes his way towards the meeting room. He's going to need to pick up this kill very quickly. There's going to be 2 players there. He picks down one. Can he find the second? That's going to be the question. He's very, very weak. It's going to be David pushing. David's going to clean up that kill, and Epsilon just going to hold on.
Man, Epsilon, that has kind of been the story here. Hold on, right? I mean, they are winning by plus 42 points right now, so they have that advantage over Exertus.
Well, 32 overall when you take into account the score of the game. Because they're 10 points behind.
That's
so
very
take
true.
That away, that's going to be 32, but you know they're bleeding away. You know, XCS are just holding on to that 2-cap lead, and I'm not even sure if they realize that they're playing against 4 people again.
Yeah, I don't know if they realize either.
That was such a good point you made there. Like, as a player, obviously you played at a very high level. You're not always when you're focused, especially in a game like this.
Sometimes you notice that, like, you know, you're like, man, this seems easier than it should be, and that's because, like, you know, there'll be a man down or something like that. But sometimes, you know, it depends. It varies, right? So I wouldn't blame XTS for not advancing forward, but you know, I think at the end of that last game there, they should have noticed at one point that they were placing, like you would have noticed. But I guess maybe the way that they were getting thrashed, they thought they had all 5. But here comes Horik yet again. This is it for them, as it seems like Exertus is going to be able to build upon this lead. They have a 16-point lead here in this half with that 42 glaring overhead for Epsilon. This could be the chance that they needed to, you know, if they win again, MYM, they're going to push on. And I don't even know if Exertus is aware of the situation, honestly.
Well, they've been playing whilst that game was going on, so they aren't going to really know exactly what the situation is in terms of the bracket and the group and the way that that's going to work out. But Epsilon, with their 5th player now, they're going to cap that Charlie flag. And that's going to be ANC under their control. XTS immediately reply. They try and cap 8 back. With 8 minutes gone, it's 93 to 114 in favor of XDS. But again, as you should rightfully point out, Epsilon with a 42-point lead from that first side.
Yep, that is correct there, Benson. I mean, you know, that 42, I mean, that's a big deficit to come back from.
It is.
But it seems like 24 now is going to be the lead that Exertus is going to be able to have against Epsilon. Let's see what they're going to do. Pesty needs to heal. Oh, he manages to live despite the fact that he had +7. He will have a teammate there on the respawn. They do manage to lose. Actually, they lose B as Epsilon catching back. It's going to be Duke in the corner there.
Oh my God, Epsilon have the trip gap.
Oh my goodness. I don't get why Pesty allowed that one to happen. But yeah, you said Epsilon. They had a trip cap.
Yeah, they did, but it's been taken away from them. And one thing to note, Horik 0-3 right now after he joined back. You made a point in the last game about, you know, the mentality after something does happen.
I know, I would be pissed.
I mean, I'd be hella mad. Like, I would be so mad. And, you know, as a professional player, you have to kind of turn that on its head and look on the bright side, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
your team held on.
They are looking on the bright side here, as it seems like they are going to be able to get a trip cap. No one by A, and B is going to be the one contested between these two teams. David is going to get taken out. Horik's going to be the one on your screen, finding a player. He's going to get dropped as well, and B back to Exertus. Let's see, can they make moves on C and A? I mean, it seems like they might be going to A.
Yep, it's actually Broseph who's jumped on that A flag, desperate to try and keep XDS momentum alive. Remember, guys, XDS are actually out of this tournament. There is no way they can advance. They don't know that at this point, though. They do not know that at this point. There was a potential for a 3-way tie, and they may still think that that's actually a possibility right now, so they are still playing for their tournament life. In their eyes, we obviously know that they are out. All they're playing for, ironically, is their competitor MYM. If they manage to win, MYM will go through.
That's right, and 90 to 68. Where does that leave us at right now? That's about 20 tickets here, 21-19. So Exertus, they're going to be losing this lead as Epsilon beginning to chip away at it. Remember, if Exertus goes below 42 tickets, that's it, it's over. Epsilon will be moving on until tomorrow.
40 left. And you have to admire Epsilon, the way that they've dealt with so many problems, and they've still managed to just keep on going through and just keep on just surviving is the best way of putting it. You know, it's the survival of the fittest right now. And Epsilon, they are doing everything they can. XDS managed to grab A and B, and Epsilon have lost a player again.
And it's not Horik, actually. So that's it's actually going to be Core. They ended up losing Core. Horik isn't performing all that well here, despite it all. But it's not him to blame, honestly. 72 to 59. It would just be crazy if that is what determines what happens in this pool, as Horik's going to be moving over towards C. Shots exchange. They are going to be able to win it.
They need 30 tickets. That's all. Epsilon needs to take 30 tickets away from XDS, and they will do the job.
They got him on the bleed now.
They have him A and C. I don't know how Epsilon keep managing to get 2 flags against 5 people. It is ridiculous. You have to commend them for their gameplay. They're just reducing that ticket lead little by little, and that's all they need to do right now.
Guerra, if he managed to stay up here fighting 2 players, and he's going to find another one as well, and he will not be able to take him out with that one. And Duke here on your screen, 18 and 13. Guerra, 17 and 14. They have just been playing so well here. And it's getting close. It's getting close. There, remember, 42 tickets, guys. The pressure's on here for XTS.
It really is. Epsilon, the end of that first side, managed to win 4 versus 5. They're going to have to try and do the similar thing right now, as they do have control of B and C. B is being taken from them. XTS desperately trying to do everything they can again.
So close.
They still think they are playing for their life in this tournament. They do not know they have been eliminated due to previous game results. And Epsilon, so close. So close. You keep saying it. It's so true. XTS just need to keep on dropping them down and down and down. 44 tickets remaining for Team Epsilon. However, there's only 10 tickets remaining for XTS. 9 tickets remaining before it's a tied-up game.
All right, well, you know, XTS needs to be playing smart. They need to go for the reses here. If you're Epsilon, though, you're going to go after A. You're not even going to bother and fight them at B because you know that they're going to be clustered here. They're not going to have bodies over by A, and that's exactly what's going on. Pessy's going to have to go big here, finding 1 player. He's able to take 1 out now. He's going to have 78 health remaining. If he's able to take out the next player, that is actually going to be David. David going big for his team as he was able to secure that one for him. And now this could very well put them on the bleed here any second now. Yes, that is going to put them on the bleed as David...
C is being taken by XTS.
Oh, C is being taken. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yep, C is being taken, but they only have 7 tickets remaining. They have 49. A grand total of 42 is taken from them the first side. So pressure is on XTS. That C flag has been neutralized. So has Bravo. XTS need to go big. 33 tickets remaining as well for Team Epsilon. 47. Epsilon with the trip cap with 4 people when it matters most. This is unreal play from them. I have no idea how they've managed to do it, but they've come up big right at the very end. 43. There's nothing XTS can do. And that's going to be it. Epsilon are going to take it. Woo. Unreal play. How have they just done that with 4 people?
I don't know, man, but there's not a more deserving team right now than Epsilon.
They have wow. Probably about half of that game they spent with 4 people.
Taking a look at the stats here. Epsilon, they backed out.
They know
it's over. Congratulations to Epsilon. They move on to tomorrow alongside Eyeballers. MYM, they won their last game, but it did not matter, Benson. They ended up getting eliminated alongside XTS. XTS fought amazingly, and despite the fact that they just did not know what was going on, still, they fought hard. Underdogs definitely coming up big, but I gotta give love to Epsilon. What a game!
They have just survived. That's the best
way
of
putting it. They have no idea, like what. Like I mean, I know that I think they knew, but like it. Honestly, it's just the gravitas of the situation's insane.
Yeah, the trip cap right at the very end to win it. What a play! What a play! And that means Epsilon and Eyeballers are going to join both AA and Fnatic in tomorrow's championship little bracket that we got going on. So that's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But again, Epsilon just refusing to die.
Yeah, refusing to die, man. That is the story of this one. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it an evening here. It's been a very, very long day of Battlefield 4 action here at Dreamhack Winter 2013. It's 12 o'clock. That means that we've been casting for about, what, I think 9 hours now? 9 hours. That sounds about a regular day. High five there, bud.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and joining us here all day. And make sure you come back tomorrow. I believe we come back at 3 p.m. CET, 9 a.m. Eastern time. I could be wrong. You know, there could be possibly, because I don't know, because it's championships. Yeah. I don't know if it changes. But you can follow myself at GoldenBoyFTW on Twitter and Benson at Benson_EU for more information. Once again, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for Championship Saturday here at Dreamhack Winter 2013.
That's right.